Everybody, today we're going to be covering the hospital trap. This is a strategy often used in Eternal but it can also be used in server-versus-server, War of Odinium, your friendly, not so friendly server battles that are occurring, and any PvP situation that may arise. So currently how this works is you need to be covered by a weakening tower. So the reason you need that is because you want to attack first, because your goal in the hospital trap is to cause as much damage to the opponent while only taking wounded troops. So in this instance, you're going to want to be within the red square of a weakening tower. And how I'm going to achieve that today is I'm going to be sitting in a weakening tower, covered by a weakening tower, provided by Jesus and Old Gray here. So that is where we will be located. The next thing is to decide your heroes. So your heroes are heroes that you want to set up based upon who's going to do a lot of damage really fast, but you also want to make sure that they are 5-star heroes if you have them. I know a lot of you may not be at that point yet, but you want to be using strong heroes for this. Because remember, your goal is to inflict as much damage as possible. So there's two ways to do this. You can either set up an entire secondary march that is just designed for the hospital trap, or you can take your primary march and switch it over to your second set of skills based upon what situation you're in. The problem with the secondary set of skills is it kind of limits to where you're able to do that, because you're also having to remember to flip your skills, and you can often possibly lose a lot of troops that way, because you don't want to use march size with this, and I'll explain why in a second. So if I was to create the ultimate do damage march, I personally would choose Megatron, Maximo, and probably like a Villy or a Selena, and I would send to Air Force. But being that I don't want to take out heroes from my main marches, I'm going to, for this video, use Max, Aya, and Akatora. So I'm using Akatora because he has his rage right off the start, and 4 to 10 missiles at 45% damage. I'm using Aya because she, even though her RNG isn't the best, I still wanted to use a 5-star Air Force hero to kind of help with the buffs, and she is perked right now, so that helps. And then I'm using Max. Now, Max is normally, as you can see, one of my normal Air Force heroes. So what I'm going to do for him for this video is I'm going to show you how to flip his skills. So first thing you're going to do, go to your second set of skills. Now, how you want to set this up is you want to set it up based upon what's going to give you the march that you need. So I know my hospital size is 94. I know currently with those 3 heroes, my march size would be 93. So I need 1 march size because I want to maximize it. And actually, I'm not even going to use that 1 march size because I'm going to just leave that 1 troop out. And then we are going to, oh, no, I'm not going to leave that 1 troop out because I don't have his exclusive. So if you have their exclusive, it really helps. I don't have Max's exclusive, so I'm going to use that 1 march size. Then the next step is to make sure you have your damage. Then I'm actually even going to grab the non-rare damage. And I'm going to grab the attack. Then I'm actually going to grab a critical damage. I don't have it upgraded right now, so hold on a second. So you'll see everything here is set up to do damage. I wish I had his exclusive skill to show you that instead of the march size, but for now we'll use that extra troop just because that's going to cause a little bit of extra damage also. You're going to want to set up all 3 of your heroes in similar fashion. Remember, your goal is to choose high-level skills that cause a lot of damage. Now, I already have the other 2 heroes set up, so next thing to do is to choose where you're defending. So we're going to go to Old Gray's tower here, and we are going to send our march. So you'll see here my march is 95 or 94. Now if I come into my base, you'll see my hospital up here at the top is 0 of 94. Now what would happen here is we would go and send to that tower, and then we would sit there. Now the idea of this is once you are attacked, you are going to lose. So most of the time you're going to lose, I should say. But the idea is that you're able to wear down the whales and the bigger players, because what's going to happen in the battle report is, if we come into a battle report, it's going to be kind of a different one, but if we came into this battle report, you'll see down here at the bottom, we have, oh, my pen, and give me green. Down here at the bottom, you'll see we have these red troops, and they have the red troops. So when you're attacking, you lose troops, and they get demoted. Well, if you only have your hospital capacity, which is at 93 there, I'll get rid of these other colors. So that's my hospital capacity is 93. I must have had one troop in the hospital already. That means that those 93 troops can be healed for, usually it's like, for me, it's a 240 gems or so, as long as they're only level 80 troops. A little more if they're higher level troops, like 81, 82, or else, but this is the way to demote them, the enemy. So all you would do is, once that is wounded, you come in here, you would, down at the bottom, you'd have your two options to repair. I always say repair with gems because the speed ups really aren't worth it, but if you want to use your speed ups first, go ahead. And then you send right back to the same spot, or to a different spot if you're needed elsewhere. Now, the nice part about this in Eternal Lands is, if you're in your territory and you just keep defending the same weakening towers, the hospital trap allows you to never run out of troops. And Eternal Lands is definitely a grind. It's not a sprint. So having troops throughout the entire Eternal Lands is huge, especially when you get down to those last minute Eternal City battles. It makes a big difference. In server, it can kind of be hit or miss, because doing this still leaves your base vulnerable, so you can still be hit at your base. But what this would allow you to do is to weaken down players if you had another big march at your base. So for me, I can send out my Air Force to this tower and weaken down other players, while my army or my navy is sitting here defending. More options. So while my navy is sitting here defending. So you see Akka, Mega U would be here defending. Obviously I wouldn't use Akatora. I would be using a different hero. But so that is essentially what a hospital trap is. If you guys have questions about it, please hit me up on my Discord. The link will be in the description. It's a pretty simple, but still kind of more in-depth strategy that can really be utilized to wear down those bigger players. I'd have you guys see me get hit here, but unfortunately, I don't have the capacity to do that right now, because we have server coming in the morning, and we kind of conserve our troops for it. So with that, I hope you all enjoy the content. Please remember to like and subscribe if you do, and see ya.